They told you kindness was strength. They told you patience earns respect. But the world doesn't bow to kindness. It devours it. The smiling faces you trusted were never allies. They were spectators, waiting to see if you'd finally break. The game was never about goodness. It was about gravity. The strong pull, the weak orbit. The moment you start living to be liked, you sign your contract with irrelevance. Power doesn't reward virtue. It rewards vision, control, and the courage to be feared when it's necessary. Because in the end, it's not the gentle who inherit the earth. It's the calculating. Welcome to the ruthless mindset, where morality ends and mastery begins. If you're ready to stop being used, betrayed, and overlooked, stay till the end, because this is the philosophy they'll never teach you in school. Like this video right now, subscribe for the next lesson, and let's begin your initiation into power. Law number 1, the law of ruthless boundaries. You were taught to say yes, to please, to prove, to serve. But every yes that comes from fear carves a wound in your authority. The world studies how far it can push you. Every time you bend, they mark the limit of your resistance. And when your limits are visible, your power is gone. Machiavelli wrote that men respect more what they fear than what they love. He wasn't glorifying cruelty, he was defining control. Fear is not hatred, it's recognition of strength. When people fear crossing you, they begin to value your presence. That's the paradox of influence. The less available you are, the more they chase your approval. Picture this: a man who says yes to every demand eventually becomes invisible. A man who says no once, with calm, unshakable certainty, becomes a mystery. The first is used, the second is watched. To practice ruthless boundaries, speak less. Delay your responses. Make others earn your agreement. Silence is not passivity, it's pressure. Power speaks through restraint. Tactical script. When someone asks for your time, pause for 3 seconds, then answer, "I'll think about it." Let the silence bite. Let them wonder. Remember this dark truth. Your boundaries are not walls, they are mirrors. They reflect how much you value yourself. Now drop this in the comments. My silence is power. Law number 2. The law of strategic detachment. Emotions are the invisible chains of the powerless. The moment you react, you surrender control. You let others write the script while you become the actor. But the Machiavellian mind knows this. Attachment blinds judgment. Detachment clarifies it. Most people confuse caring with clinging. They give too much, too early, to too many. Then they wonder why they're exhausted, ignored, and easily manipulated. You must learn the art of emotional distance, not because you don't feel, but because you've trained yourself to feel without folding. Think of detachment as the highest form of confidence. When you can observe chaos without joining it, you become the calm eye in every storm. That's magnetic power. People sense stability, and stability commands loyalty. Here's your mindset discipline. When you feel anger, excitement, or fear, pause. 3 breaths. Name the feeling silently. Don't fight it, just label it. This rewires your brain from reaction to recognition. The mind that observes controls. Machiavelli once wrote that he who controls his passions controls his enemies. Modern psychology agrees. Self-regulation is the core of influence. So train for calm. Rehearse composure. Your silence, your stillness, these are not voids. They are weapons. And remember, detachment doesn't mean apathy. It means choosing where your energy goes and who truly earns it. Comment this affirmation: I observe, I don't absorb. Law number 3, the law of calculated generosity. Most people give to be seen. They give out of guilt, out of need, out of fear of losing approval. But true power never gives emotionally. It gives strategically. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Gifts are not kindness. They are tools of positioning. The hand that gives too freely becomes forgettable. The hand that gives with purpose becomes unforgettable. But here's the paradox. Generosity, when done with awareness, becomes one of the most magnetic forces of influence. Because people don't remember constant kindness, they remember impact. The Machiavellian mindset doesn't reject compassion, it refines it. You must learn to give intelligently. Start with this. Give when it strengthens your leverage, not when it weakens your stability. Don't give to prove you're good. Give to prove you're grounded. If someone drains your energy, your time, your peace, pause before offering more. Power isn't about constant control. It's about controlled flow. Practical mindset shift. When someone asks for your help, mentally ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Does this investment grow my influence? 2. Does it align with my values? 3. Does it protect my energy? If 2 out of 3 answers are yes, proceed. If not, step back. This simple check disciplines your empathy. It transforms emotional generosity into strategic empathy. And don't mistake generosity for approval seeking. Approval is dependency. Generosity is sovereignty. The difference? Approval says, I hope they like me. Sovereignty says, I choose when to open my hand. In modern psychology, this is called selective altruism, the act of giving without attachment to outcome. It builds inner confidence, not burnout. Remember, even the sun doesn't shine constantly. It rises, it sets, it regulates its power. Tactical script. When you give, say this silently. This is my choice, not my obligation. Now drop this in the comments. My generosity is deliberate. Because the moment your giving becomes selective, your worth multiplies. Law number 4, the law of controlled distance. Connection feels safe, but safety is the first stage of surrender. The naive believe that closeness creates loyalty, but the wise know this. Proximity breeds predictability, and predictability kills power. When people can map your emotions, your moods, your patterns, they stop respecting your mystery. The more you're seen, the less you're valued. Machiavelli understood the art of controlled distance as the foundation of dominance. Even modern psychology confirms it. In human dynamics, scarcity heightens perception. When you pull back strategically, people lean in. It's not arrogance, it's gravity. You become the question they can't answer, and curiosity is the seed of control. But don't mistake distance for disconnection. Controlled distance isn't emotional coldness, it's presence with boundaries. You engage with focus, you withdraw with purpose. You're accessible, but not available. That's the balance of the superior mind. Here's your mindset training. Stop oversharing. Silence your need for constant validation. Every time you reveal less, your presence expands. Confidence doesn't come from expression, it comes from containment. When you stop explaining yourself, people start interpreting you. Psychologists call this the mystique effect. The human brain values what it can't fully understand. The person who remains partially unreadable gains the advantage of perception control. Practical tactic. When someone asks too many personal questions, smile and redirect. Say, some things I prefer to keep to myself. It keeps life interesting. You've just reinforced mystery without hostility. Positive mindset application. Use solitude as a tool, not a punishment. Distance isn't loneliness, it's recalibration. Every withdrawal is a return to power. Take 1 hour daily for silence, no phone, no noise. Let your mind digest the world before you re-engage. Now drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than noise. Because in the theater of power, it's not the loudest who lead. It's the ones no one can fully read. Law number 5. The law of emotional leverage. Emotion is energy, and energy is currency. The weak spend it recklessly. The powerful invest it strategically. Every room you walk into vibrates with hidden emotional currents: fear, pride, envy, admiration. Most people drown in those currents, but those who master emotional leverage learn to surf the storm instead of sinking in it. Machiavelli understood this long before modern psychology gave it a name. He wrote that a wise ruler is not moved by the passions of others, but uses them. Emotional leverage is not manipulation. It's navigation. It's the ability to read human energy without being ruled by it. When someone insults you, observe, not react. Their anger reveals their weakness. When someone flatters you, don't absorb, analyze. Their praise reveals their motive. Every emotional display from others is a signal, data that exposes their internal state. And whoever reads emotions without leaking their own dominates silently. Here's your mindset discipline. Never respond instantly to provocation. When emotion rises, take 3 slow breaths. Ask yourself, what's the power dynamic here? You'll notice how quickly control returns to you. That's the power of awareness. It's emotional aikido. Positive psychology calls this response delay training, the micro gap that rewires your brain from reaction to regulation. The longer you can hold that space, the stronger your composure becomes. Practical tactic. When in conflict, lower your voice instead of raising it. The quieter you become, the louder your authority feels. Calmness unsettles chaos. It bends emotion to your rhythm. Now drop this affirmation. I control my energy. It never controls me. Because in a world addicted to emotional chaos, the one who stays grounded becomes the one everyone follows. Control your reactions, and you control the entire atmosphere. Law number 6. The law of controlled perception. Power isn't about who you are. It's about what they think you are. The naive chase authenticity as if exposure equals respect. But exposure only creates vulnerability. Machiavelli knew the truth. Perception shapes reality. The world doesn't see your intentions. It sees your image. The mind that controls perception controls behavior. Most people broadcast their insecurities hoping for validation. The powerful broadcast certainty, even when they're still learning. Because confidence isn't honesty, it's projection. Appear certain long enough, and the world adjusts to your rhythm. Modern neuroscience confirms this. The brain trusts consistency more than truth. It prefers signals over explanations. That's why influence isn't earned, it's engineered. You don't wait for others to see your value. You design the lens through which they view it. Here's your mindset shift. Your reputation is your armor. Guard it as if it were your throne. Never overshare failures to people who haven't earned your respect. Share lessons, not losses. People treat you based on how you present your story. Mindset tactic. Before entering a room, choose your state. Tell yourself, I walk in calm, composed, and unshakable. This primes your body to radiate authority. Confidence begins as posture, then becomes presence. Psychologists call this state conditioning. You train your nervous system to perform the identity you choose. You're not faking it, you're forging it. Practical strategy. When you make a mistake, never rush to explain. Let silence frame it. The less you justify, the more they assume competence. Apologies create equality. Composure creates elevation. Now drop this in the comments. I control how the world sees me. Because perception isn't about deception, it's about direction. You're not lying about who you are. You're leading others to see your truth in the right light. Law number 7. The law of composed intensity. The masses mistake calmness for weakness and aggression for strength. But true power lives in the middle, in controlled fire. The man who burns without direction destroys himself. The man who buries his fire becomes invisible. The elite learn to walk between both, to burn cold. Machiavelli observed that great men conceal their passions, but never their purpose. Your emotions should not vanish. They must be weaponized. Intensity without composure is chaos. Composure without intensity is apathy. The balance between both creates presence, the kind that silences a room before you speak. Here's your mental framework. Train your energy to obey command. Wake up with purpose, not noise. When anger rises, redirect it into motion. Write, train, build, create. Passion becomes poison when left stagnant. Discipline converts emotion into acceleration. Modern psychology calls this emotional transmutation, the art of channeling strong feelings into productive action. The same fire that once made you impulsive can make you unstoppable if you learn to hold it without spilling it. Practical mindset training. Before reacting, pause and lower your tone. Imagine your anger as heat in your chest. Visualize it moving up into your vision, fueling clarity, not conflict. Breathe through the pressure until it sharpens, not scatters. This turns passion into precision. Tactical script. When challenged or provoked, say softly, "You'll see through my results, not my reactions." Then walk away. That single sentence ends 100 small wars. Affirmation. My calm is my fire. Because dominance isn't loud, it's focused. You don't need to prove intensity when your presence already radiates it. The storm doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives. Law number 8. The law of strategic cruelty. There comes a moment in every powerful person's life when kindness becomes a liability. The naive believe that goodness guarantees gratitude. But in truth, kindness unmeasured breeds entitlement, and mercy without judgment invites manipulation. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince who is all mercy will soon find his kingdom in flames." That truth still stands. You cannot lead if you cannot cut. But cruelty, in the Machiavellian sense, isn't sadism. It's precision. It's the ability to make hard decisions without collapsing emotionally. When you remove toxic people, end draining habits, or sever ties with those who feed off your energy, that's not cruelty. It's strategic protection. Modern psychology names this compassionate assertiveness, the ability to act decisively without guilt. To protect your peace is not selfish, it's survival. The most loving thing you can do for yourself and others is to refuse to enable weakness, disrespect, or dependency. Mindset discipline. Never apologize for enforcing your standards. When you say no more, say it once and mean it. Power is not about punishing, it's about positioning. You're not rejecting people, you're redefining your space. Practical tactic. When someone crosses a line, don't debate. Simply respond with, "That doesn't work for me." Then disengage. Calm, controlled, final. The conversation ends. Your respect begins. Train yourself to see firmness as kindness in disguise, because a person who cannot say no eventually loses their ability to say yes to what matters. Affirmation. My boundaries are acts of respect. Remember, mercy without balance destroys the giver. Ruthlessness isn't cruelty, it's clarity sharpened by self-worth. Law number 9. The law of silent authority. There's a level of power beyond words, where you no longer need to prove, defend, or persuade. That's silent authority. The energy that enters a room before you speak. The presence that bends behavior without instruction. Machiavelli hinted at this in every lesson. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. But the highest rulers didn't chase either. They learned to command through aura, not argument. Silent authority begins with self-certainty. You no longer perform confidence, you are confidence. You don't demand respect, you emanate it. Every movement, every pause, every controlled breath communicates inner dominance. The world responds to your frequency before it understands your language. Modern psychology calls this nonverbal influence, the mind-to-mind transmission of dominance. The person with lower composure automatically submits to the one with steadier energy. It's biology disguised as intuition. Mindset discipline. Stop explaining yourself to the uninterested. Stop chasing closure from the unworthy. Learn to sit in silence after your truth is spoken. Power doesn't beg to be believed. It allows time to prove it. Positive tactic. At meetings, in conflict, or during negotiation. Slow your speech, lower your tone, hold stillness between sentences. The slower you move, the more others adjust to your tempo. You've shifted control from noise to presence. Practice this inner command daily. Stand tall, shoulders back, head level. Breathe deep before you speak. Then say less. The fewer words you use, the heavier they land. Affirmation. I speak less, but everything I say carries weight. Because when your silence holds gravity, your words become law. The loud seek attention, the silent attract it. The world bends, not to the scream, but to the stillness that cannot be shaken. Your transformation into power. Let's bring this full circle. You've walked through 9 laws, each one a weapon, each one a mirror. You've learned that power isn't about cruelty, it's about clarity. That being too nice isn't moral, it's permission to be used. You've learned the necessity of boundaries, detachment, and distance. You've learned that emotions, perception, and energy are currencies, and the world pays only those who know how to spend them. Look at yourself now. You're no longer the person begging for validation. You're no longer chasing attention or peace from people who feed on your weakness. You're the one who understands silence. You're the one who sees the invisible games and plays them with precision. You've stopped asking for respect and started embodying it. Machiavelli once said that fortune favors the bold, but it stays with the disciplined. You've seen why the ruthless rise. They are not heartless, they are heart-controlled. Their calm isn't apathy, it's armor. Their distance isn't arrogance, it's design. Now this is your moment of separation. 2 paths stand before you. The first, remain where you are. Keep explaining yourself. Keep giving endlessly. Keep mistaking compliance for peace. The second, step into dangerous self-respect. Speak less. Watch more. Enforce your standards with quiet certainty. Command, don't chase. Lead, don't plead. Here's your mindset mission. For the next 7 days, practice 1 law each day. Observe how your energy shifts, how people begin to respond differently. You'll realize something profound. Power isn't given. It's reclaimed. Now, choose your initiation. Like this video, that's your signal to yourself that you're ready for control. Comment this final affirmation. I am calm. I am ruthless. I am in command. Share this message. Help someone else escape the prison of pleasing. Subscribe your initiation contin. Wes with every hidden law that follows. Remember this truth. The weak react, the strong respond, but the masters, they simply decide.